Now, we see kids playing games and we see them getting obsessed with them, and it seems like this continual kind of cultural concern that, like kids are addicted to video games and they're just so absorbed in these things. What am I going to do? I read a passage a while back and it was interesting. It was a guy describing, he was walking into a room and he saw a person sitting on the other side of the room absorbed in this device, and he was so fixated on this device that he didn't even notice this fellow walk into the room. And he could tell that it was like he wasn't even there. He had displaced himself to a different time and place, and it creeped him out. He thought he was possessed by the devil. What this was, it was from the 16th century, and it was the first time he had seen somebody reading a book. And so every form of media, in some sense, has had this ability to displace people and their imagination into some other place. And when we see our kids playing these games, we don't really think of it the same as reading, but in some sense, people get just as absorbed in books as they do in these games. Now, there's also this kind of cultural divide where, a lot of parents did not grow up playing games. Kids do, and a lot of the reasons why games seem cool to kids in some ways is that their parents don't do it, because we all kind of know the best way to make something kind of uncool is to, have your parents take it up and enjoy it. So, in some sense, the game industry has kind of thrived on that up to now. This is what people actually said about novels way back when they were first introduced. The free access to which many young people have to romances, novels, and plays has poisoned the mind and corrupted the morals of many a promising youth and prevented others from improving their minds in useful knowledge. About the waltz. The indecent foreign dance called the waltz was introduced at the English court on Friday last. So long as this obscene display was confined to prostitutes and adulteresses, we did not think it deserving of notice. But now that it is enforced upon the respectable classes of society by the evil example of their superiors, we feel a duty to warn every parent against exposing his daughter to so fatal a contagion. And this is the waltz. Movies, of course. This new form of entertainment has gone far to blast maidenhood. Depraved adults with candies and pennies beguile children with the inevitable result. God alone knows how many are leading desolate lives begun at the moving pictures. And then, of course, our favorite, rock and roll. The effect of rock and roll on young people is to turn them into devil worshippers, to stimulate self-expression through sex, to provoke lawlessness, impair nervous stability, and destroy the sanctity of marriage. It is an evil influence on the youth of our country. So every form of media, when it's first introduced, encounters a lot of cultural opposition, and games are kind of right in the midst of that right now with this generational divide between the people that kind of grew up with games and the people that didn't.